I'm going outside. My pockets been heavy as shit. That bank is...
What's poppin', M2T? It's your boy Ron on the channel to be. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe button whenever you pull up to the channel. And while you at it, hit that post notification button for your boy one time for the one time. So whenever I drop, you can hop up in the truck and roll with me. See what's poppin'. How's everybody doing today, fam? We here with another week. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna even speak on a video not being dropped Monday. Hey, don't hold it against me, man. I'm hustling, you hear me? Just like y'all is. So we gonna get y'all we gonna get the content in now. We'll get the content in now, alright? How y'all doing? Y'all know y'all in my prayers, man. I appreciate the A1 Day Ones. I appreciate the guests. I appreciate the new subscribers pulling up on me today, man. Salute, fam, salute. Alright, we got a good one for you guys today, but before we get to it, we'll be back after these messages.
What's up, M2T fam? Merch is available now. We have styles for the men and the ladies. Visit our catalog and check out our inventory. What you waiting for? Go to marriedtotrucking.store.
Part one of this series was about serial murderous trucker Miss Coleman, who I deemed as the angry trucker. You know, he was the angry murderous trucker. You know, you hop up in his truck, any woman that hopped up in his truck and pissed him off, she pretty much had signed her death certificate right then and there. If you haven't seen that video, go and check it out. The link will be in the description box below. All right. Former FBI Assistant Director Frank Figluzzi, he wrote a book. He just wrote a book not too long ago. This book is titled Long Haul, and it's about hunting the highway SK. All right. Now, in this book, former FBI Assistant Director Frank, he laid out tactics that was going on back then, which is what we have presented with you guys, and tactics that's still going on today, as far as the trucking community and truckers being out here on our interstates and our highways committing these heinous and vicious acts amongst these women. Frank ignited a fire up under the FBI, and they immediately started an investigation hunting down. They're looking for at least 500 truckers in our community right now as we speak that is on our interstates and our highways that is still committing these heinous acts. Right now, M2T, as we speak, the FBI is investigating the trucking community because they still feel like that there's truckers like Colvin that is still out here on these roads. And it's because of Frank's book, The Long Haul, that they have implemented this investigation. And they are targeting certain interstates that I deem to call death valleys. One of them is I-40, coast to coast, from the east to the west. They own I-40. Another one is I-10. I wanted to bring this to you guys' attention because a lot of you guys don't know that. And if you haven't checked out that Long Haul book, go check it out. Shout out to Frank for putting that out there. Which brings us to our story today. Robert Benjamin Rhoades. Robert Benjamin Rhoades was born November the 22nd, 1945, also known as the Truck Stop Murderer. As an American serial murderer he is confirmed to have tortured and murdered at least 2 couples in Illinois and in Texas in 1989 and 1990, and is additionally suspected of torturing and murdering more than 50 women between 1975 M2T and 1990. Based on data about his truck routes and women who went missing during these years who met the profile of his preferred victims. At the time he was caught, Rhoades claimed to have engaged in these activities for 15 years, you guys. On October the 26th, 1990, deer hunters discovered skeletal remains in Midland County, Utah. At the time, the victim could not be identified and was known under the name Jane Doe 1. For the next 13 years, it was not until May of 2003, the forensic scientists from the University of Arizona, after comparing x-rays of the victim's jaw, were able to identify her as 24-year-old Patrice Candace Walsh. Walsh and her 26-year-old husband, Douglas Scott Zizulski, both from Seattle, Washington, went missing shortly after leaving the city in 1989. Zizulski's remains were discovered in January of 90 in Ozona, Texas, near Interstate 10, and he was identified in 92. After Walsh was identified, representatives from Utah State Police Department contacted their colleagues from the Texas Rangers Division, but the investigation did not identify their murderer. After his arrest, Rhoades confessed to their murderers. He claimed that the couple were hitchhiking when Rhoades picked them up in his truck while on a long-haul journey. He immediately murdered Zizulski and dumped his body in Sutton County, Texas, where it was later found. He kept Walsh for over a week. During this time, he tortured and oiled her numerous times before murdering her and dumping her body in Miller County, Utah. Less than a month after Walsh's murder, he abducted despite extensive evidence. In her statement to the police, she said that, "I don't see any good in filing charges. It's going to be my word against his." If there was any evidence, Regina K. Walters, 14, was found nude and badly decomposed on September 29, 1990 in the loft of an abandoned barn near Greenville, Illinois. She was missing since February 3, 1990, when she ran away from her home in Pasadena, Texas, with her boyfriend, 18-year-old Ricky Lee Jones. An autopsy revealed she had been strangled to death sometime in early March. A photograph of Walters being tortured was found in the home of Rhoades. On May 26, 1990, the partial skeleton of Jones was found near Harton, Texas. He had been shot in the head. In the early morning of April 1st, 1990, Trooper Mike Miller of the Arizona Highway Patrol found the truck with its hazard lights on at the side of Interstate 10 near Casa Grande, Arizona. When he investigated inside the cab, he discovered a nude woman handcuffed and screaming. There was also a male present who identified himself as the driver of the truck. After failing to talk his way out of the situation, Rhoades turned over a gun that had been on his person. He was arrested and charged with AA, SA, and unlawfully imprisonment. He was left handcuffed in Miller's patrol car but nearly escaped. After further investigation, the arresting detective Rick Bernhardt was able to make a connection to the Houston case and noticed a pattern stretching over the course of at least 5 months. In executing a search warrant for Rhoades' home, police found photos of a nude teenager who was later identified as Walters, whose body had been found in September 1990. Also present were photos of Walsh, whose body was discovered that October. In 1994, Rhoades was convicted of the first-degree murder of Regina K. Walters and sentenced to life without parole at Menard Correctional Center in Chester, Illinois. He was extradited to Utah in 2005 to be tried for the death of Candace Walsh and Douglas Zizulski. However, in accordance with the victim's family request, the charges were dropped in 2006 so that they would not be required to testify more than once for both states, and he was returned to prison. Rhoades later was extradited to Texas for the murder of Walters and Jones, where Rhoades, in exchange for having the death penalty dropped, pleaded guilty to their deaths and received a second life sentence. Rhoades continued serving his life without parole sentence at the maximum security Menard Correctional Center in Chester, Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Robert.
I just got in a whole brand new bag. I'm running around.